Do this while it rains. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome to another superhero and comic book month. It's the comic book superhero month, and this time I'm talking about a 2023 documentary that came out on Max back in July. It's called Superpowered, the DC story. Yeah, it's a 3-part miniseries about the history of DC Comics from their humble beginnings in the 1940s all the way to now, where they pretty much hit a brick wall because of their films bombing. But it's very insightful. I think this is well worth your time. There's a lot of insight on Wonder Woman, the first woman that DC Comics created to be a main superhero. Because Batman and Superman were like the two starters, and then the first thing adapted into film was actually the Adventures of Captain Marvel, Shazam. He was the first, he did a bunch of serials in 1941 that were released in theaters because TVs weren't a thing yet until the late 40s and the early 50s. They talk about, the other comics, like when they had a slump and they wanted to be more diverse, and they had black superheroes added to it. And they did the first Superman movie from 1978, and it paid off for them. And you were able to do so many other franchises after that. Batman, Shazam years later, Wonder Woman, The Flash, the TV shows on the CW, everything. They talk about mostly everything, except for the movies that came out this year, like Blue Beetle, Shazam 2, and The Flash. But it has a lot of history, so they got a lot of celebrities to do the interviews, like Gal and Jason Momoa. Ben Affleck was nowhere to be found, but you know how it is. Henry Cavill was there for a spell. You had stock footage from Bob Kane, the creator of Batman, and Jerry Siegel, and the late Richard Donner, who did the first 2 Superman movies. And there was a lot of controversy in there, but again, it was DC. What do you expect? They were built on controversy. I mean, their last 10 years haven't been exactly stellar. They've been up and down, but I like this documentary. I think it's really well done. James Gunn is, of course, there because he's going to be doing Superman Legacy, which is the future of the DCU, not the DCEU, just the DCU. And I'm looking forward to it because I'm like, there's no way it can get any worse. So once you hit the bottom, you can only go up. And I think that can happen for DC next year with Joker 2 and the Penguin show on Max, etc. And their animated department is also doing really well. I mean, they just did 2 movies this year that came out. That one of them I liked. The other one I haven't seen yet, World. But I've heard mixed things, but I want to see it. And, DC characters have been a part of my childhood since I was a kid, a little kid in the 80s. When Batman 89 came out, that was a big deal for me because I loved the 60s show as a kid. And I watched the movie and I'm like, wow, it's so different, but it's still Batman. And I saw the Christopher Reeve Superman movies as a kid. I saw Batman Returns, Batman Forever, the animated series of both Batman and Superman. I did watch a lot of stuff. Lois and Clark. I used to watch these things when I was a kid. And this documentary brought back a lot of good memories. Some bad ones too, but, Batman and Robin and all that. But, you have to get through the hard times to get to the good stuff. That's what this summer taught me after all I've been through. But it's a good documentary. If you haven't seen it, it's on Amazon Prime. It's also on Max and other streaming services. You'll be able to find it. It's really informative. It's 3 parts, and it's about 2 hours and 40 minutes. I did it in parts because I didn't want to sit through 2 hours and 40 minutes. And it's insightful. If you're looking for something to watch before the next season of Invincible in a couple of months, and before Comic-Con in New York City, which is I'm going to soon, it's worth a watch. And it's not, there's some things, like I said, that made me cringe, some of the inclusion, but it's DC. What do you expect? They've been doing that since the CW shows, but that's not for me, but it's, it might be for you. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Acknowledge me because I'm going to Comic-Con dressed as a DC character. And, if you haven't seen this, I say watch it. It's 2 hours of your time that's worth it. But see it in parts because it's a lot easier to get through. So thanks for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.